What's up, everybody? Yesterday I posted my last video after leveling up all the primaries except for shotguns, and ranking them how I felt they were in Vanguard and kind of giving Warzone predictions. And I promised I would put out a video saying, hey, these are the guns you need to level up before Warzone. So I did a list of 10. I did 10, you'll see what I mean when I go 10, weapons that I think you should level up for Warzone. I didn't include any handguns. I'm still kind of doing those, but there's only a few that actually are worth leveling up. Like the 1911 has an automatic barrel and akimbo. The machine pistol has akimbo, and the revolver, I forget what the exact name of the revolver in this game is, has akimbo, and that could be snake shots. But those are really the only three: the 1911, the machine pistol, and the revolver that I'm going to worry about. I also, as you can see in the title, aren't including the STG and the MP40. If you own Vanguard and you're leveling up guns before Warzone, you've probably already fully leveled the STG and the MP40, being as those are the two broken guns within the game. But with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into my list of guns that I think you should have leveled before Warzone. Okay, and starting at my number 10 slot, this is what I meant by 10. It's kind of a flyer slot. There's a few guns that I probably could have thrown in here. I tried to make sure I included all categories of the weapons. And so I have the 3-line rifle as the first one. There's going to be one of the dominant long-range snipers. I know they're not as popular, but there's people that use them, like the HDR and the ZRG, which are the best for Modern Warfare and Cold War. And since we don't have Warzone yet, I'm not quite sure which one's going to be the best one. So we have the 3-line rifle, and then we have another one on this list. I'm sure you can guess what it is. And I'm not the biggest LMG fan just because they're slow, but there was some pretty good LMGs throughout Verdansk's time, and I'm sure there'll be good ones within Caldera's time. So I have the DP27 on here. For the 3-line rifle, my best guess at a Warzone loadout, and this is going to be the silencer on every gun, it's going to be the MX silencer. It's really between that or the Mercury silencer, because you do need the full sound suppression to be hidden off the minimap. And so do you want the penalty to be damage range, or do you want the penalty to be aim down sight time? And you can boost accuracy, or you can boost recoil control, and definitely on a sniper doesn't matter, so I go with the sound suppression and the accuracy without hurting my damage range. Because you know, Warzone, especially with a sniper, you could hit a shot that's 1,000 meters if you get lucky, and so you definitely want the damage range, and you don't want to have the damage range. And with guns having bloom, I'd rather help the accuracy. So MX silencer, a heavy foregrip, and the MN custom barrel for the aiming stability as well as the stock. The stock also helps with flinch resistance, which is huge. You definitely need the flinch resistance. We're not worried about movement speed, aim down sight speed, or sprint to fire speed with our long range sniper. Optic, I have left on here just stock. You could go 10 times, especially because it's long range. It actually doesn't appear to hurt your aim down sight time, so you could go 10 times if you want. 10 is probably too much for me. You could also go down and go with the 3 to 6 times, zoom into the 6, and instead of 7, which is the stock, you'll have the 6. Or you can go all the way down to the 5 if you'd like. But I would just keep it stock, or go to the 3 to 6, because the 3 to 6 gives you the best ADS time of anything that gives you 5 times or more magnification. I went fabric grip just to help the ADS speed. It does hurt the accuracy, so I'd either go that, or I'd go the leather grip that has no penalties. They give you about the same ADS. So for snipers, sprint to fire speed, just in case you get caught and you just panic. But probably the leather grip might be better. And then shrouded, because you conceal your scope glint. If you're not going to do that, maybe hard scope, since you're going to be hard scoping from on top of a building. Maybe flinch resist, silent focus for the flinch resistant. And you're not going to worry about reload quickness. You're sniping from far away. You're going to be hidden. So I'd probably go shrouded, maybe hard scope, maybe silent focus, but I would lean to shrouded. And then either deep breath or fully loaded. Probably fully loaded for the ammo. Deep breath if you like to hold your breath, but I tend to like snipers to not have any sway, so I don't have to hold my breath. And then the DP27, like I said, it's going to be the MX silencer. You're going to see Carver foregrip for the best recoil control on all the guns. 105 round for the most amount of ammo. You could try the larger caliber rounds. It does give you 80. It does increase your damage by 40%. And it doesn't help your vital damage, but it does help your bullet velocity as well. So you're either going to want to go with the 105 round pan or the 81 round pan. You could also go the 30-06 63 round pan, but I would go with one of these three probably. 47 probably be enough for range, and it helps your ADS speed. Really, I would just avoid the 30 round fast belt. But really, there's a lot of good options. I'd probably go with the 105 or the 47, just to not increase recoil. I don't think this gun has a lot of recoil, but over range, I just don't want to increase that. Lengthen for best bullet velocity, because Warzone, like I said, is so big. Optic, I go for the 3.5 times. It's kind of a preference for you, but the 3.5 times is going to be closest to what we're used to with the VOK and the 3 times optic for Cold War. And then we went ZAC S2M stock for horizontal recoil control and aim down sight speed. You could go with the Empress VZV for the accuracy during recoil, accuracy and recoil during sustained fire, or you could consider the adjustable stock to help your movement speed. But I went to ZAC S2M just to give me aim down sight speed, as well as horizontal recoil is the hardest recoil to control. Vertical, you just pull down. You can't really control horizontal very well, and it greatly helps your horizontal recoil control 10.5%. It's a decent amount. And then sleight of hand, because it is an LMG. Otherwise, I would probably go fleet. Just because it helps your movement speed and your weapon swap quickness, which are very slow with LMGs compared to other weapons, but so is reload, so I go sleight of hand. And then fully loaded. There's nothing else really worth using on here. Maybe on hand for throwing grenades and stuns and stuff faster. But other than that, it's really got to be fully loaded if you ask me. I don't really see putting fully loaded, putting anything but fully loaded on classes. Like I said, this is kind of an iffy class. I also thought about putting the G43 because you can make it auto in there, as well as I went back and forth with the MG42 for one of these guns. But 3-line rifle, DP27 is what I have in my 10 slot, kind of tied. Number 9, Type 11. It's the best movement of all LMGs, and once we got Cold War, we found out how important good movement was. Movement alone started to push Modern Warfare guns away before any nerfs, buffs, or whatever did that. Movement speed really kind of changed all that. And it's going to be built pretty much the same with the MX silencer, the Carver foregrip, the largest mag, lengthened, 3.5 times rifle scope, leather grip for aim down sight speed, either fleet or sleight of hand. I just threw fleet on there just to change it up, but weapon swapping is quick, quickness or movement speed. Probably go sleight of hand, and then you go fully loaded or on hand. And then for the stock, I went with the Type 33 stock. It helps your recoil control and your accuracy a lot, as well as your flinch resistance. It does hurt your movement speed by about 4.1%, which isn't a lot. But if you look at other stuff, this helps your movement speed, but it hurts your accuracy and recoil a lot. This custom barrel helps your aim down sight speed and your aim walking movement speed, but it kills your sprint to fire speed, your hip fire accuracy, and your accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. Skeletal kills your ADS. And you could go Secure Precision, although I didn't find this to have much recoil either. So I'd either go Secure Precision, or I would go with the Type 33 stock. Coming in the number 8 class is the Kar 98. I know it's weird seeing the Kar as a gun that I'm not finding very valuable. But just like the 3-line rifle, the Kar in this game is going to end up being more of a long-range sniper. It's a lot slower to ADS. There's a lot of flinch on it. And so you're better off sticking with the Swiss or the Modern Warfare Kar, from what I'm guessing. And once again, so the SD silencer is going to be the equivalent silencer here. Sound suppression and accuracy. Heavy foregrip again for sway. The VDD 660mm05H combined with the heavy foregrip and the VDD thumbhole give you 0 sway. So all those need to go together. It hurts. It hurts sprint to fire speed and movement speed. We're not that worried about that with a long range sniper. The other option is the VDD REO 2K, which helps bullet velocity and a larger one-hit area. It hurts movement speed and aim down sight speed, but you're going to have to hold your breath because this hurts your idle sway control compared to the 660. So you're really going to go with one of those two barrels. Like this one helps your ADS, but hurts your bullet velocity. We don't want that. This one gives you a smaller one-hit area and only helps your ADS movement speed. We're not as worried about that, so you're going to go with the 660M or the REO 2K. As for stocks, this combined with the other headphones, like I said, gives you 0 sway. Nothing else is going to give you 0 sway. Everything else is going to add to your sway, except the padded stock here. But now that's hurting your ADS. We're not worried about sprint to fire, and it also hurts your movement speed and hurts your centering speed. So we end up with the VDD thumbhole. From there, fabric grip, help ADS. Probably switch that, like I said, to the leather grip because we're only worried about helping the ADS. Otherwise, maybe the hatch grip for accuracy, but nothing else. Maybe the polymer grip, but you're long range, so I'm going to go with ADS or probably the hatch grip. Shrouded, like I said, you could go Frenzy, but this isn't really an aggressive sniper, so you don't need the health regen after kills. You're not quick scoping because it's slow ADS. You're not moving around. Bullet penetration, I'm not too worried about that. So you end up going with Shrouded. And then once again, fully loaded. Or if you're someone who holds your breath, go Deep Breath. And same thing on optics. Either stick with the stock, which is 7 times, go 3 to 6 variable zoom, go 10 times, or go 5 times. Just kind of a preference, but the 3 to 6 will help your ADS more than the 5 times will, and the other ones hurt your ADS. So from there, we're at 7. We have the NZ41. I actually really wanted to put this at number 1 because this is the most damage of all ARs. It's similar to the EM2 in the way that it has a slow fire rate but hits hard. The problem and what kept this so far down on the list instead of being number 1 like where I wanted to put it was the magazine. So the magazine, you can go down to 20. The normal is 30. 30 is just not a lot. We saw that in ruined guns like the Scar. The Scar never really got a chance because of its low mag size. So you can go down to 20, or you can go down to the 30 round mag, which now decreases your damage, bullet velocity, and range, which we don't want in an AR, or the 6.5 millimeter 45 round mag, but that hurts your bullet velocity, range, and damage. It does help your fire rate, but not by a whole lot, and it helps your recoil control a lot, but there's not a whole lot of recoil on this gun anyways. Like I said, what really hurts this is the fact that it only comes with 30. It's built pretty much the same with the MX silencer, the Carver foregrip, lengthened ammo type, 3.5 times scope. Either go the leather grip or go with the Or go with the fabric grip. One of those help ADS. This also helps sprint to fire speed, hip fire, recoil, recovery, and it hurts the accuracy. So I'd go either leather grip or fabric grip. Once again, you could go hatch grip for all these long range options to help your accuracy, but I'd probably stick with the leather grip. And then for the stock, I went with the Orb Reaver E-Pack. It doesn't kill your movement speed or your aim. It does kind of hurt your ADS a lot, but 352 isn't horrible. And it doesn't kill your sprint to fire too much either. But it greatly helps your recoil control, your centering speed, and your flinch resistance, which is kind of important at range. Everything else hurts your recoil compared to it, and I just don't think it's worth it on a range weapon to only decrease your ADS by a max of 39 milliseconds. That's 0.03 seconds. Not worth it. So I go with the E-Pack. And then I go Frenzy. We're not worried about reload necessarily with an empty clip because you probably shouldn't be getting to an empty clip without cover. Accuracy when you initially shoot isn't that important. Prone transitions more important with an SMG when you're going to be drop shotting. Pin, not worried about dealing. Flinch and unmarked, not that important unless you're being super aggressive, and it's more important for an SMG. So you end up with Frenzy for health regen after kills, for kind of long or tough firefights, and then once again, fully loaded or on hand. Number 6, we go with the M1928 or the Tommy gun. SMGs, you kind of could put in a lot of different spots, but this gives you a good bit of firepower. The Owen gun gives you a little more firepower, but gives you less ammo and is impossibly hard to see. The Type 100, the M1928, and the SMG I have higher on the list were kind of what I went back and forth for SMGs, but you can see the Type 100 gives you less ammo and less firepower. And so I ended up with the 1928 in this slot. It's just a good balance. Like I said, the MP40 isn't on this, so it's third out of the 3 SMGs I have on this list. And this one's a little bit different than ARs. We go with the M1929 silencer. It hurts ADS, but I mean the ADS is a quarter of a second here. It's 250 milliseconds, and it helps with your. It helps suppress you off the map. And like I said, you want that, so you either do that or the Mercury silencer, but you don't want to hurt the damage range of an SMG. Then you go SME pistol grip. It hurts your recoil control and your accuracy, but the SMG is going to be up close unless we have sniper support SMGs, and I'm not quite sure which one I think that will end up being. And so I'm not worried about recoil control and accuracy up close, but this helps your sprint to fire speed and your hip fire accuracy. You could do something like a Mark 6 skeletal to help ADS speed, but it only is going to help it by 9 milliseconds or 0.09 seconds, and that's just not worth it. I don't want to do the Carver foregrip because it's hurting your ADS, and it only really is good for recoil control. It also hurts your sprint to fire kind of a lot. And it's an SMG without a lot of recoil, so I'm not worried about that. And Strife Angled Grip hurts your sprint to fire speed and helps your recoil, but it hurts your hip fire accuracy. And up close, we're not worried about it. So end up with the SME pistol grip on SMGs. Then you just go with the largest mag. You could try out something like 8mm 100 round mag, especially because we're not worried about recoil control and accuracy as much up close. And it helps your damage, but it helps your damage actually by a lot. 36% helps your damage range by 20%. But it hurts your recoil by 30 and 25% respectively. So it's kind of, give or take, this might be the move because you're up close. So you probably either go with the 45 caliber ACP rounds or the 8mm 100 round mags. I think if you're using this more sniper support, you want to go with the ACP rounds because it helps your recoil. This one's kind of a tough one. I might actually go with the 8mm 100 round mag. Just because of the situations you'll probably be in Warzone with it. We go with the rapid fire barrel. I think if you're going to go 8mm rounds, you probably switch this to something like, you probably would switch it to the cooling barrel that helps your horizontal recoil, but it's a little bit tough to say just because I'm a little back and forth on ammo, and the rapid barrel increases your fire rate by 14.7%. So I think if you're going with the 45 ACP rounds, definitely go with the rapid barrel. Otherwise, maybe consider the cooling barrel because it does help your horizontal recoil control by 93.3%, and then you just have to pull down. So either probably the cooling or the rapid barrel. Slate reflector or whatever your choice of close optic is. Fabric grip helps your ADS speed, your sprint to fire speed, and your hip fire recoil recovery. Hurts your accuracy, but accuracy we're not as worried about, like I said, with an SMG. Otherwise, I would probably go with maybe the pine tar grip just because it helps your hip fire accuracy. But I wouldn't worry about ADS speed because it's an SMG. But if you're gonna, I'd go fabric grip. So it's probably the fabric grip or pine tar grip there. For stock, we go with sprint to fire speed and movement speed. Everything else either hurts your sprint to fire speed or your movement speed, which we don't want in our SMG, as well as like hurting your hip fire accuracy there, hurting your ADS speed by a lot, and your sprint to fire speed and movement speed, hurting your hip fire accuracy. So we end up with helping our sprint to fire speed and movement speed. And then proficiency, we either go frenzy or we go fleet because the fleet helps the movement speed as well as the weapon swap quickness, or frenzy for health regen. We have 100 rounds. Right, yeah, we have 100 rounds, so we don't really need sleight of hand. You should be able to finish your gunfight in 100 rounds. And then we go fully loaded or go on hand. I could see for SMGs going for reach or fast melee because people like to melee a lot, but they did say in the patch notes that they were going to nerf the melee. So from there we have number 5, AS-44. It's one of the fast-firing SMGs. I don't think the Volk actually ended up on this. I love the Volk, but it has the lowest firepower of all of the fast-firing SMGs. Both the Automaton, the AS-4, and the Volk are all your fast-firing SMGs. The Volk is probably going to be more of a FFAR-type SMG AR, so you could consider putting that on this list. I think this or the SA-44 go in this spot. I went with the SA-44, but they're going to be built out pretty much the same. MX silencer, Carver 4 grip, largest mag of the caliber type. I don't want to go smaller caliber, and the larger caliber here has only 30 rounds, so you end up with the 60 round mag, lengthened, 3.5 times rifle scope, unless you want to run this as a sniper support or an SMG. Then I'd go with the slate reflector, fabric grip, or leather grip because you're at range. Sleight of hand, once again. Not worried about acquisition, not worried about momentum. If you're running this as an SMG or a sniper support, maybe momentum. Not worried about gung-ho, not worried about steady, and not worried about disabled. And then once again, either fully loaded or on hand. Maybe reach or fast melee if you're running this as an SMG or sniper support. And for the stock, once again, we went horizontal recoil control and aim down sight speed. I didn't want to kill the movement speed or the sprint to fire speed without at least greatly helping like the recoil, which you don't get on any of these. So I would either go with the ZAC 12A, or if you're running this in SMG or sniper support, I would go with the ZAC Skeletal. And then for barrel, I went with the 615 millimeter. It's highly accurate and controllable. So it's going to help your horizontal recoil control, which, like we said, is the hardest. And this gun did have kind of a lot of recoil, so at range it's going to be kind of important. And nothing else helps your vertical. Well, okay, I spoke wrong. The precision is the other option here. I forgot that I was going to go over the precision because it helps your vertical some while also helping your horizontal recoil. And so I would probably either go with the precision or the 615 millimeter. But the problem with going with the 650 precision is it hurts your damage, your effective damage range, and your vehicle damage. It does help your vital damage by quite a lot, but I would rather have the damage range and not hurt the body damage because vital damage is going to be head and neck. It's kind of trade-offs here. I prefer the 615 millimeter, but I could see the 650 millimeter also being the barrel that you want to go with. From there, I'll go over the Volk really quick. The Volk's going to be the same minus the barrel. Here we would probably go with the 428 just to help your horizontal recoil and not hurt your recoil, as well as helping your effective damage range. And then for stock, I would probably go with the S12 VPS, or I'd probably go with the converted, because like I said, the Volk is probably going to be more of your SMG sniper support. So I'd probably go with the converted, but I might go with the 12 volt and the PS stock. Magazine, you're probably going to either go with the 30 caliber Russian short 45 round drum, because as an SMG or sniper support, that's going to probably be okay. Or you're going to go with the 80 millimeter 60 round drum, because that's the normal mag, and that doubles your ammo within the gun. And then everything else is going to be the same. It's going to be the MX silencer, the Carver 4 grip, the fabric grip. Especially if you're using this as an SMG or sniper support, we're going to go fabric grip, and then we're going to go with the slate reflector, lengthened ammo, either fleet or sleight of hand's probably best here, or perfectionist, depending on how you're using. Long range, I'd probably go with perfectionist. Sniper support and SMG, I would go with fleet. And then, once again, I would either go fully loaded or on hand. If you're using SMG or sniper support, you could do fast melee or reach. And that's kind of what the Volk would look like. It fits into that same slot there. Number 4, we go Sten. Really, I was going to put the Sten or the Type 100 here, depending on which one statistically ended up better. And if you can see, the Type 100 helps in accuracy, gets hurt by ammo speed, and firepower. So we end up with the Sten, built just like our M1928 with the M1929 silencer, the SMLE pistol grip, the rapid fire barrel for the same reasons. If you want to try this more as a sniper support or a long range, you would probably consider... Honestly, I would probably still stick with the rapid barrel. You could consider the 348 millimeter, but it hurts your body damage and helps your headshot damage. Maybe it's worth it for long range sniper support. It does increase your vital damage by 81.4%. So either one of these barrels probably work. There's probably some testing that needed, but I stick with the rapid barrel for now. 9mm round fast drum, or 9mm 50 round drum, because it's the largest stock ammo type. You could consider the 20 round fast knives, but that's going to be like nothing. I guess this would be more of like a sniper support AR option for the larger caliber with more damage, but I'd stick with the 9mm 50 round drum. Lengthened again. Fabric grip again, especially because with SMGs we're not as worried about the accuracy because we're going to be using them up close. So it'd either be that or probably the pine tar grip. Slate reflector again. Either Frenzy or Momentum, depending on how you're playing. Frenzy helps your health regen. Momentum helps your movement speed. So both help you if you're going to play aggressive, which you should be with your sniper, with your SMG, or maybe acrobatic if you're a drop shotter. But I'd go with Frenzy. And then fully loaded again, once again, on hand or fast melee or reach. Fast melee or reach, maybe, but I'd go probably fully loaded. And then for the stock, I have the Gawain Para, because once again, it's that sprint to fire speed and movement speed stock for the same reasons as the M1928. Number 3, SVT40. This is essentially going to be the car of the Vanguard weapons, or the Swiss, where it's going to be the marksman rifle in the car's case, or the faster ADSing sniper option like the Swiss and the car are for their games. This is going to essentially be the car for these guns, and probably the best sniper that you're going to get out of this game when it comes to Warzone. And so it ends up as number 3 because it's going to be your best sniper or your new car. MX Silencer, again, heavy foregrip. We're building it like a sniper pretty much, where we're going for no sway. And we're going to use, like I said, the MX Silencer on everything. The 800 millimeter barrel is a must because it increases your larger one-hit, or it gives you a larger one-hit kill area, as well as helping scope sway and gun bob. It does hurt your sprint to fire speed, your fire rate, and your aim down sight time, but you need that larger one-hit kill area to make it more effective. And then to help your ADS or sprint to fire with the barrel, you lose bullet velocity, which isn't good. You could also consider this precision barrel. It helps your aim down sight time. It helps your flinch resistance. It helps. It gives you the same idle sway control, and it helps your recoil and your centering speed. But it doesn't give you that larger one-hit area, and it also hurts your damage and your vital damage. So I end up going with the 800 millimeter, which actually helps your vital damage as well as your regular damage, and helps your vehicle damage, even though I'm not worried about that, while also giving you no sway. And then 7-round fast mag. It helps your ADS as compared to no mag, I believe. No, it doesn't hurt your ADS, at least. And it increases your reload quickness by 20% because now you're using a clip instead of one at a time. You could go with the 15-round mag if you're going to be a little less aggressive, but it hurts your movement speed as well as your ADS speed. So I end up with the 7-round fast mag because 7's more than you have in the car in the Swiss, unless you use the Swiss's 7-round mag. Lengthened, either fabric grip or leather grip because you need the ADS speed when you're going to be playing more aggressive with this. I use the 3 to 6 times because it hurts your ADS because it normally comes with iron sights. But if you went with something like the 5 times, you could also go with that. But it doesn't help anything over the 3 to 6. And if you zoom in with the 6, now you have more zoom. Or when you're up close, you can zoom out with the 3 and have a zoom. And it doesn't say that you can see the scope glint. But knowing Warzone, you probably will be able to because this can go up to 6. And I don't think... or you could go 10 times, but this gun's not going to be meant for 10 times. You're better off not using anything at all. So I'd go with the 3 to 6 variable. Empress Crown, once again to give you that no flinch. If you're not, or reduce your flinch greatly and reduce your idle sway. If you're okay with a little bit of idle sway and you're more worried about ADS time, I would consider just removing the stock. You are going to have idle sway and it is going to increase your flinch resistance. But if you don't care about idle sway as much and you want more ADS, I'd probably go with the remove stock. So you're either going to go removed or the Empress Crown. And then Vital to increase the one-hit kill area. I would consider Focus maybe for the flinch resistance or Shrouded. But because you're not trying to sit up on a building and be hidden, you're playing more aggressive, I think Vital's more important to help that the critical hits, get the kills easier. So I'd either go Vital or Shrouded. And then once again, like I said, fully loaded. Maybe on hand. Probably not fast melee or deep breath because you should be switching to your SMG within melee range. Or sorry, fast melee or heavy hitter. I wouldn't go with deep breath because you shouldn't be holding your breath when you're playing this aggressive. So you end up going with fully loaded. Number 2, my favorite SMG that isn't the MP40. It's going to be the PPSH. The oil can silencer is the equivalent to the M1929 silencer. SME pistol grip. Largest rounds for the normal mags. You could try the 8-round mag to give you an even higher fire rate, but the fire rate on this gun's already ridiculous. With just the normal rounds, it's over 1,000, which would put it towards the top. You could get it all the way up to 1153.8, but you're hurting your damage, your effective damage range, and your bullet velocity. Not worth it to me. You could try the larger caliber, but then you only have 35 rounds, which is a problem. And it does help your damage, your bullet velocity, and your vehicle damage, but it hurts your fire rate by over 10%. Some testing will probably have to be done to do that, but I would to figure that out. But it only gives you 35 rounds, which could get you in trouble, and means you automatically have to have, which you don't even actually have. You'd have to have discard just to help when you're empty. I end up having fleet for weapon swapness, weapon swap quickness and movement speed. But if you went with the bigger mag or with the larger caliber, you'd have to go with 35 rounds, and that's not worth it. I'd rather have double the rounds. Lengthened again, slate reflector or your choice. Either fabric grip or pine tar grip, depending on what you would rather choose. Like I just showed you, I had fleet If you don't have fleet, I would maybe consider discard it if you want to go with the bigger mag, or tight grip, because it does have what feels like more recoil than the Cold War PPSH. And then once again, I went with fully loaded. You could go with fast melee or reach. I wouldn't, though. I'd go fully loaded, or if you don't want fully loaded, I'd probably go on hand. As for stocks, skeletal stock, once again, those are sprint to fire speed and movement speed. And then Empress barrel for the fire rate. All the same reasons on the stock and the barrel as I had on the other ones, because all the barrels and stocks are pretty similar on the SMGs. And last but not least, the Automaton is the gun that I think you should make sure you have ranked up the most. It has the it's another one of the fast firing ARs. And if you compare it to the AS-44, it has a little less firepower, but it has more accuracy, more ammo, and a little bit better movement speed. And then with the Volk, your speed goes way up, but your firepower goes down a little, your accuracy goes down, and your ammo goes a little bit more. But the Automaton has the most firepower of the fast firing ARs, while not losing a whole lot in accuracy or ammo, and you only lose a lot of speed compared to the Volk. But the Volk, like I said, is going to be really more of SMG sniper support type AR and more up close, versus the Automaton. I think even though it has a little bit of recoil, it's mostly visual, and you can counteract that with these attachments. MX silencer and cover foregrip, like all of our ARs. The largest round, or the largest mag, unless you're going to go sniper support or SMG, then I would consider the 45 round mag. So you still have more ammo, while not hurting your ADS, your reload quickness, your movement speed as much. You could consider the 50 round mag. This thing already has a lot of recoil, and so I'd probably either go with the 8mm 50 round or the 6.5mm 75 round, depending on how the recoil feels within Warzone. It does greatly help your damage and your effective damage range over the 65mm, and it also does help your bullet velocity a lot, but it's going to hurt your recoil a lot. And like I said, this thing there is visual recoil, and now you're going to add a lot of physical recoil to it, so I end up just going with the 75 round drums, because I'd rather hit my shots, because you'll still kill faster than missing your shots. Lengthened ammo again. I threw the pine tar grip on here. Just remember to talk about how this could be an SMG sniper support, and in that case, I'd probably go with the pine tar grip, but otherwise, I'd go with my usual fabric or leather grip. 3.5 times rifle scope again, unless you're using this SMG sniper support. Then you're going to want the slate reflector or whatever your choice of up close is. I went with tight grip for the accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. You could also do frenzy if you're going to be using this a lot up close. Maybe sleight of hand, especially if you're going to go with the 75 round mag, might be a good idea. Dismantle's not bad because it gives you damage to vehicles. So if you're going to play solos, you're worried about Bertha still, that might not be a bad idea. Other than that, none of them are worth anything, and I just think tight grip is the best option. And then, once again, fully loaded. You can go fast melee or reach if you're going to be up close, or on hand to throw grenades, but I don't know why you wouldn't go fully loaded. Then it leaves the barrel. Best bullet velocity, range, and accuracy are the sniper barrel. If you can see anything else, hurts it. You could go with like a short barrel to help your damage, but it hurts your vital damage. And you could precision help your vital damage, but it hurts velocity, range, and damage compared to the sniper barrel. And it does give you more horizontal recoil control, but I'd rather have the bullet velocity and damage range and mitigate recoil elsewhere. And then I went with the padded stock. There's not a great stock option here. You could consider the broadsword to help your ADS, but it will hurt your recoil control compared to the padded, and the Zac Skeletal will hurt your horizontal recoil control, which we don't want. So we go with the Anastasia padded. That being said, that's all 10 of the guns that aren't the STG and the MP40 that I think you should level up. I could be wrong here. I could have the attachments wrong. We won't really know until we get these guns into Warzone. Personally, I had all the ARs, SMGs, LMGs, marksman rifle, snipers all leveled up, as you know. So for me, I have all the options available. But if you don't, and you have enough time to get any of these leveled up, this is my 10 or 11, 12-ish that I would have leveled up. That all being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more. Let me know down below what weapons you want to make sure you have leveled up before Warzone Pacific drops and Vanguard integrates. I'll have all my social medias linked in the description like usual, so please feel free to visit those. I know this is a long video. If you stuck to this point, thank you so much. But I'll see you on Warzone Pacific before you know it. Have a great day. Get frying. Bye.